Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Angie. I am a psychic tarot card reader here on YouTube. I want to let everybody know that I am open for personal readings. So if this reading resonates and you would like to book a personal and private reading with me, feel free to check out my website at angiesawakening.com. I also am going to be introducing an extended reading on Patreon. So you guys would be able to follow me as of the first week of March. I'm going to be releasing that so that you guys are now able to watch my extended readings, because I'll be bringing the tea, the sauce, everything nice, you know how Angie does. So yeah, we have 3 piles for you guys to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with the amethyst crystal. We have pile number 2 with this like Rasta type of pile here. And we have, last but not least, pile number 3 with the Sports Illustrated sticker. So do your thing, pick your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Oh, I forgot to mention, the title of this reading is, what is your person's sincere fears about your connection? So yeah, do your thing. I'll see you in your reading. Oh, hey, pile number 1. So if you chose, oh my gosh, my camera is twisted. This is nuke. Okay, so maybe your person recently went through some type of tower moment, or you guys had some sort of issue or disagreement that came up, because I noticed that my camera was tilted. So everything that kind of like happens in a reading is supposed to be a part of the reading. So what I'm feeling right now for your person is that you guys are not really communicating as much. So if this is not resonating with you from jump, you may want to choose another pile, but I feel this very strongly intuitively. So in case you missed the intro, and you would like to book a personal reading with me and this resonates, feel free to check out my website at angiesawakening.com. I also want to let you guys know that starting the first week of March 2022, I'm going to be releasing my Patreon, where you have the ability now to do extended readings. So you get to see more extended, more tea, more sauce, more drama, more a little bit more into your situation, as well as I'm going to be releasing other information about my Patreon that I'm going to be releasing shortly. So yeah, let's hop into this. So if you chose this amethyst here, this is going to be your reading. So amethyst is all about intuition. I actually love amethyst. Amethyst is one of my favorite stones ever. So this is actually my amethyst crystal here, which no joke, I am a high priestess, so it would make sense for me to like amethyst, right? Or have an affinity to the stone. So you may also have a infinity to amethyst, and I'm also hearing that you or your person could also be a water sign, but I'm hearing Pisces, Scorpio, and possibly some Cancer, but I'm feeling very strongly Pisces is, or even Scorpio, which is really resonating heavily for me at this time. So I feel like for your person, their sincere fears about this connection is maybe they're afraid that their intuition may be wrong where you and them are concerned. I feel like this person I'm hearing cares a lot about what other people think. So maybe you are more of a spiritual person and this person could be more religious. And so a lot of their fears and insecurities about this connection is that people may judge them based on your spiritual beliefs, or maybe I'm hearing your person could have recently recognized that this was more of a soul connection for a lot of you out there, and this is something that is causing a lot of tower moments in their life. So let's turn over the card and let's see some of their fears. So we have Curios, and this is from the Archetypes, The Wild Unknown by Kim Karanis. I love this deck. It's always on point. Every time I pull the cards, it always is on point for me. So I'm just going to set this here, and I'm going to set your stone here, and then I'm going to find out a little bit more. So this person right now, you guys, as I talked about, are in some sort of separation, and so your person's fears is really just them thinking that they're not going to be able to commit to you, or that you are going to basically move on before they're able to reach out to you and rush in with some sort of communication or some sort of offer. So a lot of your person's fears and insecurities is that eventually by the time that they catch up with you, because especially if this is a spiritual connection, they're afraid that by the time that they tap in fully and realize the true magnitude of the connection, that it's going to be too late. But I'm hearing right now that your person and you also, the viewer, are being divinely guided right now by your angels, by source, by spirit. You guys are also some sort of starseed energy I'm feeling as well, where you guys may have had many lifetimes with this person, or many cycles I'm hearing, especially with this person. But I'm hearing that recently there's been a lot of shifts, but specifically with your person and their perception of the connection. Because I'm noticing the eye as well here. So blue is all about truth and throat chakra. So this person definitely right now wants to communicate with you. But I feel like at this time they're being divinely guided by spirit. And they want to talk, but they just are waiting for the right time to come in. But a lot of their fear is that by the time they get the cue to come in, you would have already moved on. Because remember, if you're watching this and you are a twin flame or soulmate, you're someone who is more of the intuitive one. So your person's gifts are starting to come online is what I'm hearing. But this person is kind of like not really doesn't know about divine timing and how the connection kind of works. They're just starting to understand the magnitude of this connection. So let's tap in a little bit deeper. So I split the deck in half, just to tap in a little bit more about your person's fears and insecurities. So this is by Chuck Sperano. So here we have it, right? As I talked about, shattered dreams. So this person is scared that by the time they come forward, you would have moved on with someone else. So this is where a lot of their fear is centered around. I think that this person also is someone who feels like they never get anything good, or nothing good ever happens to them, which is also part of their fears as well. But this is kind of like helping your person, I'm hearing, restore their faith in humanity, and specifically in regards to love. Because I'm hearing that this person may have had a lot of shitty partners in the past, or just a lot of shitty relationships where the relationship was incredibly imbalanced. But your person wants to show up for you and provide that solid commitment. So their fears is, as we talked about, right? We see it here, constellation of shattered dreams. So that's all about things not working out, and poor me, and why couldn't I not get her or him in the end, or them in the end? I end up with no one. You know, that kind of thing is a lot of where their fear is rooted from. So this person, as we talked about, may not also recognize their spiritual gifts that they have too. So a lot of the time I feel like their fear is more around, they want to help support humanity, but then they're afraid that people may judge them based on their spiritual gifts. So this is also some of their fears about the connection. They want to collaborate with you, I'm feeling very strongly, because we have 2 3s here. So this is all about master number 3, right? So this is kind of like the total completion of the master numbers, right? So this is you guys creating and manifesting something to really help support humanity as a whole. But this person is deeply afraid that this is something that they may get a lot of judgment about, right? Like, especially if it's in regards to spirituality, spiritual gifts, that sort of thing. This is where a lot of their fear is deep rooted, right? Because they are kind of more of like a closeted type of starseed is what I'm hearing, where they have the gifts and they have the capability, and a lot of them have a really strong communication and channel for spirit, but they're just afraid that it won't be enough. So here we have it here too. This person's fear is that they don't think that they can match up and compare to you. So this person also has issues with their self-esteem. I'm hearing specifically solar plexus and sacral chakra, where they may have experienced some sort of trauma, which kind of like made them dull themselves down in fear that if they shown people like all of their strength or all of their capabilities, then they would receive a lot of judgment. So it's the same thing kind of like playing out for this person here with you in regards to you guys' connection, right? But this is a lesson that this person, I'm hearing, has to go through in order to really start to understand that playing it small doesn't get you anywhere, right? You need to be able to open up and definitely be able to express and speak your truth, right? Because a lot of what they went through in their life may have seemed like a burden, is what I'm hearing for this person. And this is kind of like what caused a lot of their insecurities, their fears, their doubts, their self-limiting beliefs. And a lot of them, I'm hearing too, try to, you may also be dealing, I'm hearing Virgo as well as a Libra. So a lot of them kind of like try to bury their head in work and stuff like that, to forget about you, the connection. Just in general, they try to portray themselves as this busy person, just in fear that people may recognize that they're different, right? So they try to blend in, and this is also a part of their fears. And so sometimes they may have blown you off in the past as well, telling you that they were busy working or they had other prior commitments, just so that way they wouldn't have to open up. Because this person has a lot of baggage and trauma, is what I'm hearing from Spirit as well too, where a lot of their life was kind of like spent with them being in superficial relationships with people. And this is kind of like what triggered a lot of their fears, because they didn't have to necessarily open up to others. And so because of that, you trigger a lot of this person's insecurities, where now they actually have to express to you how they feel, which is a big deal. And see, we have it here, the Tower in reverse. So this person for a long time, right, as we talked about, was resisting their transformation. But Spirit doesn't play. Whether you're ready or not, you're going to go through that glow up or transformation regardless. Like right now, I'm going through even an ascension process myself, where you may even be doing that too, and so is this person, where I'm getting downloads like crazy. My, my readings be on point, my clearings be on point, everything is on point. But this is a part of, what needs to happen. And the more you resist it, the more tower moments, the more difficulty that then ensues. So a part of it is just accepting it and going with the flow, which I'm hearing that this person may even try to also reach out to you, because now they feel incredibly alone because they're not sure how to deal with this. So again, this is all about this person's indecisiveness, because we have the Two of Swords here. So this person is incredibly indecisive, but I feel like, they have to decide. I'm hearing between you, someone else, could even be a job that's been getting in the way of you guys. And this is something now that's leading them to like a crossroads, basically, where they have to make a decision, because they can no longer deny what they feel about you. And that's also some of their fear, where they feel incredibly drawn to you, but they don't know how to deal with it, right? They keep thinking that maybe they're not good enough, maybe they don't have enough, maybe they'll never be able to compare to you. These are all a part of your person's fears. But let's get more tarot. So we have the Hermit. So yes, you definitely could be dealing with a Virgo. Very much, especially as I talked about, right? I think I said 9 somewhere was here, or in the deck. So definitely Virgo vibes. So this person right now is actually going within, trying to look for a lot of answers. And they're trying to realize or figure out why they're so indecisive about making decisions. And a lot of it, as I said, is divine timing. But this person may not necessarily be fully conscious to that concept, but they feel like they're running out of time in terms of making a decision. So this person also wants to come clean and show you also a lot about their fears and insecurities, and kind of like the foundation works, is what I'm hearing, as to what caused them to basically be the way they are and treat you the way that they did. So let's also see, okay, so let's see, what is this person's next actions going to be towards the viewer, right? Just curious, what are their next actions, Spirit, for pile number 1 for the viewer? I know this was not a part of the reading, but I don't want to leave anybody on the cliffhanger, because I know. So yeah, this person right now is going through some sort of heartbreak, as I talk about the choice, right? So it could be them having to choose between you and a karmic partner, you and a love interest, that sort of thing. But this person is recognizing now, right, that you make them incredibly happy. They know, right? This person knows. So they're going to be still kind of like in that karmic cycle, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. But they do recognize, and they are stepping forward right now to tell you that they are heartbroken, especially if you guys are in some sort of separation. And they definitely see how this connection and how you make them happy. But they're going within right now to try to manifest the answers in terms of what they want to do, in terms of their next moves and actions towards you. So this is also the divine timing. I'm hearing from Spirit that this person is healing right now. And so this is where they're not able to really make that solid decision. They need to kind of like go within, figure out what makes them happy. And then they'll be able to kind of like realize that it's you, but it's also them. Them choosing themselves is going to lead them ultimately to you. So this person right now I'm hearing is healing, and they're still kind of like stuck in some cycle of codependency where they're kind of like reliant or wanting to be in your energy all the time. Or they could still be with that karmic partner here, right? Because we have the devil. If this card was in the reverse, it would have been more prominent, I feel, to say, especially here. But they're going to tell you some sort of truth about, you know, what caused them to kind of like maybe choose a job or a karmic partner or something of that sort over you. And they're going to still be in that same cycle though. So be careful, pile number one, because this person isn't going to be 100% like able to commit to you. But this is where, again, I talked about them clearing out the cycles, going through the motions, working on their healing, dealing with some of their trauma, facing their demons, and then they could come back with an offer. So I'm going to ask Spirit a question. So this is just kind of like a freebie bonus, right? In regards to maybe a question you may have had in mind about this person or this situation. So I'm just going to tap into the angel answers, and I'm going to pull a card, and then Spirit is going to tell me or give you an answer to a question that you may have that's like burning, that you want to know. So I'm just gonna pull one. They gave me a lot here, so I'm just gonna pull one card, please, Spirit. One card. Here we go. This is the card. So the answer to your question is yes. So if you had a question in mind, and Spirit is saying no need to worry. So whatever you asked, I feel like it's relating to this situation. Spirit is saying yes, right? So if you were thinking, is this my twin or soulmate? I'm hearing some of you may be wondering that. Spirit is saying yes. But don't worry. They're being tempered right now by Spirit so that they can come back and have proper communication with you. So let's get the last piece of advice from the guides, and then we're going to close out your reading. So they're saying balance. So as we talked about, right, as I said, Libra. Could even be dealing with a Libra as well for this pile. Where's the book now? So let me find that in my little mess behind me. So I'm able to get the additional messages from the book. So again, when this person comes back, because I do feel like in divine timing, this person is going to be returning. You need to make sure, pile number one, that the relationship is balanced the next go around, right? So if this person is still having that karmic partner or karmic job or karmic family members, I'm hearing for some of you, make sure you set that boundary with this person, right? And you're crystal clear in terms of what your expectations are and what you want from this person and how you want the connection to go the next go around, right? Because remember, if you don't speak your truth, right? And if you are not clear, then how is this person going to know how you truly feel, or maybe what they put you through, how you felt about that, or what it is exactly that you want from them and this connection, right? I'm also hearing that this person may even come back again for another test to see if they can kind of like have you and that other vice on the side at the same time, right? And that's when you're supposed to just, again, greet them with the sword, right? Just crush it, right? Just let them know. Don't be, I feel like, aggressive, but be supportive, compassionate towards the person, right? But at the same time, you need to let this person know that this time you mean business and you're not joking with them, right? Because again, they need to understand that, you know, if they want you and it's you that they want, then they have to be able to level up and match you, right? This is how this works. I mean, come on. You, the boss, you can't really just let people joke this out with you. That's how this goes, right? No. So let's read it. Wow, I flipped it right on the page. So you are in a delicate process of learning how to properly balance the flow of give and take. So again, this is what I was talking about in your personal relationships. And it's time to evaluate how you're doing. Are you giving too much, leaving you resentful and angry? Or are you withholding when you could give more? Leaving you feeling guilty and defensive. Your divine teachers can help you learn how to give, to better align your relationship so that you are neither giving nor taking too much as a means of controlling others. They counsel you to be honest about your motivations when dealing with others. You know in your heart of hearts what drives you interested in them, or what drives your interest in them. Do you give with a secret agenda of you owe me? Do you create dependency and control over others with your kindness? Or do you withhold for fear that you might be taken advantage of, keeping people guessing about your motives and your intentions? Your divine teachers are on hand to help you answer these questions. They lovingly assure you that your relationships are the most difficult of all spiritual classrooms, and the lessons of proper give and take are the most difficult of skills to learn. Have compassion for yourself as you seek balance with others. Ask your divine teachers to help you become more aware of how you can give and receive in all relationships, not just the romantic kind. Their message to you: there is no difference between giving and receiving love. And this was on page 55. So this is all about pile number 1, challenges and changes in your relationships, and specifically with this person. And this is also talking about codependency as well, right? So as I mentioned, you may have been codependent on them, and they were codependent on you and your energy as well. Especially if this is a spiritual connection. Generally, you guys are both mirroring to each other what needs to be healed and transmuted for yourself. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope that reading resonates. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, feel free to send me an email at angiesawakening1111@gmail.com, or you can book it directly on my website at angiesawakening.com. Thank you so much. Love and light. Take care. Hey, pile number 2. So if you chose this line here, this is going to be your reading. So before we begun, I instantly heard you could be dealing with someone who is of some type of indigenous descent. This person could also like music very much, is what I'm hearing as well. They could like Bob Marley, not because this is a Rasta line, but just in general. Could even be a Caribbean person. I'm hearing African as well. Some sort of culturally enriched person I'm hearing as well. You could be dealing with someone from Egypt. Someone who just has a very deep cultural family, as what I'm hearing, or a deep cultural background, is what I'm hearing as well. I'm also hearing French. That's probably for a specific person out there. So this is for pile number 2. So we're going to be asking Spirit, what is your person's fears about you? So in case you missed the intro, I want to let you guys know that if this reading resonates and you would like to dig a little deeper in regards to your person's and your situation, feel free to book an email on my website. I'll leave links to that down below in the description bar, as well as you can send me an email at angiesawakening1111@gmail.com. I want to let everybody know that I'm going to be releasing my Patreon for extended readings and other things that I'm going to be doing that I've been heavily working on at this time for my ascension, right? Because I'm going through a major ascension period at this time. So yeah, let's hop into your reading, pile number 2. Let's see what's going on with you and your person. So what are their fears about this connection? So we have here offering. So I'm just going to set this up. Just put this here, just like so, like that, and put this here, like so, like that. I don't even know where that's from, but someone may know. Comment below if you know where that's from. So the offering. So we have here that your person right now is having to make a choice between you and someone else, or you and something else. But a lot of their fear is that you're going to reject their offer. So I feel like they and you are going to have to literally sacrifice a lot in order for this connection to ground. But I'm feeling very strongly that you guys may go through some sort of, like, it's kind of like your person may come to you unexpectedly out of the blue and just tell you and start professing a lot of their feelings and wanting to kind of like take things to the next level. So I'm hearing that we just had a full moon in Leo. So this is probably also why you were drawn to the lion as well too. So the moon energy of the last moon cycle, so I'm recording this just after the full moon in Leo. So Leo is all about strength and like overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. So you could even be dealing with a Leo, or you could be a Leo yourself, Or I'm hearing that you could also have some connection to the moon. So maybe the last moon as well. You may have created some sort of intention, or whether it be consciously or unconsciously, about wanting to take this connection to the next level. So your person, guide, spirit, universe, source has heard your request. And what I'm feeling very strongly right now is that they are being guided by spirit, by source, by the ancestors. So a lot of their fears, pile number 2, is really just that by the time that they are able to sum up the courage to come forward to you, it might be too late. So that's a lot of where their fears are deep rooted. But I'm also feeling like this person is going to want to meet you halfway, as long as they feel like you are also going to want to meet them halfway. So let's pull some cards from the conspiracy deck. So I've divided the deck in half, just talking about more of the shadow attributes of the deck to see more in depth what this person's fears are. So this is something that this person is working through. They're working through their confidence to really come forward and really talk to you and speak some sort of truth, as well as wanting to let you know how they've really been feeling about you in this connection and wanting to take things to the next level. So even if you are in a commitment with this person, you're just curious to see about what their fears are, this person wants to provide you more of a deeper commitment, more of a deeper relationship. And a part of that is that they want to show you that they have matured and they're willing to do whatever it takes to ground this connection further. So let's see. File number 2, please, Spirit. What is their person's fears about them and the connection? So we have relationships. So again, so you may even be dealing with a person that might have already been married or in some sort of long-term commitment. And a lot of their fear is that if they come towards you, they're going to have to leave that cycle of being in that relationship with someone else behind. Your person as well could have really grown up in a very broken and tumultuous household as well too. So if they walk away from that, it's literally like them having to start over. I'm hearing clean slate. And that's where a lot of their fears comes into play. They feel like if they leave their family or their children or whatnot behind, then that would make them, I'm hearing, less than a man. So you might literally be dealing with a masculine in this pile, who might be in some sort of high level commitment already. So it's kind of like they would have to get that divorce, breakup, or if they're living at home with their mom or parents or something like that, they would have to leave this behind in order to give you the offering. And that's kind of what's making them second guess themselves. Because if they leave that behind and they come forward to you with an offer, and then you reject them, then that is something where they're going to be like, oh my God, I literally gave up everything for this person and now I have nothing. So it's kind of like they want that reassurance from you in order to make sure that before they make a choice, they are able to know in 100% that you are going to choose them or you're going to be with them. So if you guys are already in a relationship, or it could even be a baby father, baby mother type of deal here, they want to like work on the connection with you and them, but maybe they are with someone else and they would have to leave that family in order to come to you. So you may have even found out recently, because I'm very noticing the child here, that maybe you are expecting for this person and now they have no choice but to leave whatever they had behind. Could even be just like a job in general. It doesn't have to be a little relationship, but I'm feeling very strongly that this is some sort of foundation that they set with someone else that they now have to leave in order to come to you. And that's where a lot of their fear and insecurity comes into play. Because then, if they lose it, they lose everything and have to start over again. But this is a chance that this person is gearing up and feeling very much to take. Based on the last moon cycle, it really shifted their energy and their perspective, where maybe they were looking at things one-sided in the past, and now they're seeing things in a higher light and a higher regard for you and the connection. So this person, I'm feeling like they are a little bit afraid as well too to be that rebel, right? Because as I said, especially if they had a deep commitment, people would see them as that outcast, that rebel. They left everything behind just to be with you. And they're afraid and they're wondering, what are people going to think about me if I make this choice to go after pile number 2? So if I leave my mom's house, if I leave my father's house, if I leave my family, my friends, everything that I know behind, people are going to see me as this different person. Because I think that your person as well, especially if they're a Leo, Even Virgo too does this as well, where they care a lot about what people think of them deeply. Like, this is a big deal for this person. Like, their image, their reputation, whatnot is on the line. They could even be working in some sort of corporate role or position, and now they're going to be taking a risk to, like, let's say, branch off with you and focus more on like a spiritual practice, which is something that is not heard of where this person comes from. So this is a part of where their fear is centered, right? The rejection, as well as what people are going to say, how will people take them now that they've taken on this new persona. But I'm also hearing from Spirit that you have been sending them a lot of messages through music, and they may even be hearing your voice telepathically as well too at this time, which is also what is drawing them closer into you, wanting to come back and provide that stable foundation if there wasn't one already there, or deepening the connection because they feel more connected to you, and they're kind of like trying to figure out, if they walk away, how will you perceive them now? So let's see one more card, and then we're going to pull some tarot to really dive deep. So yeah, a part of this person's issue that they had, a part of this person's problem that they had, pile number 2, was that their family or where they were was something that also accepted this person. So you could have been dealing with someone who literally had an addiction, right? Could have been a sex addiction, could have been workaholism as an addiction, could be an addiction to toxic relationships with people or toxic work environments, or just toxicity in general was something that this person had as a problem. But it's something that they really love, because this is a card number 6, and 6 is all about love. So this addiction or this cycle that this person has been in essentially has been something that they have been in for a very long time. And to leave that where they're at over there, maybe the partner, the karmic, or whatever situation that they're with this situation here allows them to continue doing their addiction. But they now, I'm hearing, want to break free and they want to change this. So it's kind of like this is just bringing this person down, and they know this intuitively, and now they want to be able to make a difference. So here we have it here, right? They recognize now that they want to hold on to this connection, right? So a part of this is them recognizing that they need to release where they're at in order to manifest that new beginning. But in some way, they're still holding on and resisting that transformation because they want to guarantee about you, the connection, the relationship, that everything will ground and work out. But in life, there is no guarantee of anything, right? It's all about taking chances and risks to be able to manifest your happiness. Because I think you make this person incredibly happy, pile number 2. And this person is recognizing that now. That's why they want to give you the offer, right? They want to come back. They want to talk. They want to make things right with you. And they want to end a lot of this childish behavior is what I'm hearing too, that has been leaving them unhappy for a very long time. So let's pull some tarot cards from Spirit in terms of what else is this person's fears in regards to pile number 2. So let's see. That's too many cards. Spirit, just give me 3 cards, please, in regards to the pile number 2's person's fears about pile number 2. So yeah, this person was juggling you and another connection, right? So it could have even been a work situation too. That was kind of like what was holding them back. So here we have, so can I get 2 more cards, please, Spirit? But this person I'm hearing is also working on balancing out this problem that they had. So again, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is, again, this person, right now I'm feeling this is definitely an individual because we have 2 queens here. So this is definitely confirming what I said. They have to leave this reverse Queen of Swords in reverse to be with you. So they were juggling you and somebody else, but I'm feeling very strongly this is definitely a person because we have 2 queens here. We have the Queen of Wands, which I believe is the viewer here, which is someone who is very passionate, very fiery, very caring, very understanding, someone who is very courageous. And see, even when I talked about the Leo, so this is even matching up here too. So definitely heavy fire energy in this pile. So they have to leave this Queen of Swords in reverse, which is someone who is emotionally very abusive. This person cuts people down with their throat. This person doesn't have any respect for anyone. They're very rude, very, you know, I'm hearing as well, they do a lot of mind games. They're all about manipulation. So now this person has two choices to make. So I actually feel like it should more be like this is what it should be like. Do they stay over here with this toxic feminine, or do they release it and then come to you, right? This is now the choice that this person is in, because now they recognize that they were juggling you and someone else. So the choice that they have to make is, do they leave this toxic feminine here, because I'm feeling this is feminine energy. Do they leave that toxicity and then do they come to you? What are they going to do, right? So this is now the choice. So let's see, Spirit, what is this person's actions going to be towards the viewer? Let's see, what are they going to choose? What is pile number 2's person going to choose? Okay. So we have 5 of Swords. So again, we talked about tons of conflict over there. Yeah, this person, yeah. So, yeah. So right now, again, as I talked about, right? And then we have the Empress. So again, this person is recognizing that you are their everything, right? You are everything that this person could have wanted and more. But it's just that they still don't feel good enough, right? They recognize where they're at. There's a lot of fights and conflicts in the home. The children, I'm hearing, if there are kids involved, are unhappy. There's a lot of bickering, quarreling. I'm hearing cheating may even be happening in their karmic family situation as well. Or there could have been a recent secret that was brought to light about their person that they had been investing in. Maybe the karmic even had someone else, or if it was a job, they ended up losing their job. Something bad happened in that situation. But this person is showing up as a knight, whereas they see you as the Empress, right? So this person does not feel good enough. They don't think that they have enough to give you. This person I'm hearing right now, they feel like they've been working really hard, in some cases even overworking, to try to manifest this connection back. Or I'm also hearing as well another message from Spirit that this person had invested and had been juggling and working really hard and going back and forth between the both of you. But now this person I'm hearing wants to try their best to, you know, deal with the loss of you and the connection, right? So now they're in some sort of stalemate energy where they're indecisive in terms of what they should do. Should they stay with the life that they know, or should they manifest this new beginning with you? But they do want to come forward to recognize that they do see you as the Empress. But don't ever doubt that this person doesn't know who you are and what you represent. But it's just that if they have to come in, they have to leave what they know behind in order to manifest this new beginning with you. And I don't know if this person is ready yet to take the leap of faith. But what I'm hearing is that this person is definitely building on their strength and confidence to be able to at least come back and talk to you, right? Because this is what they want. But again, see, we have it here at the bottom of the deck. I can't make this up. The Emperor in reverse and the Empress. So they know that you are their counterpart. So this person knows. And they are thinking about leaving the karmic, right? So it's here, the Hierophant in reverse. So this person is thinking about leaving that karmic or karmic family, job, what it is behind. But this person at the same time doesn't feel like they are your equal yet. So they want to make sure that when they do come back, they're able to give you that balanced connection that they know you deserve. But this person is trying to put in the work behind the scenes. But instead of them kind of like counting their blessings, they're more looking down at it as they're not where they need to be. But they do recognize that they want to be with you, but they're just not sure how to proceed. Because I'm hearing a lot of them may have been spending a lot of money in the situation that they're in right now. So I'm hearing that the karmic that they're with might also be very incredibly selfish, where they're the ones that have been paying for everything, your person, and this karmic hasn't been contributing and it hasn't been balanced. And so because of this, they are now going through a loss financially, which is also hindering their confidence to step forward too. I'm hearing that your person is the provider. So for them, they need to feel like they have enough money, they have enough stability to be able to provide for you and this connection. And without that, then they don't feel like a man, right? They don't feel like they are empowered if they can't give you what you need. So this is where, again, a lot of their indecision and them kind of like not sure what they should do. Because where they're at, I feel like no matter what they do, this person still accepts it. So this person that they're with may allow them to drink and whatnot and smoke and carry on and whatever. And maybe even sleep around with other people. But with you, you set that boundary where this person knows they cannot play. So let's get a message. Like, you can think of a question, pile number 2, as a bonus. And let's see what the angel answers have to say about it. And then we'll take it from there, and then I'll get the last piece of advice from Spirit and close out your reading. The Spirit is saying, don't worry, right? This also came out in pile number 1, so you may have been drawn intuitively to that pile as well, but different messages in that reading. But similar, I feel like it could be a connection, possibly, but you could check out pile number 1 if it resonates. But Spirit is saying, don't worry, right? So whatever your question is, Spirit is saying, don't worry right now. Things are going to get better as time goes on. You just need to trust and believe and keep praying for this person, keep sending them light, keep giving them some energy to help them kind of like come out of this stalemate type of energy. And a way to shift it as well, pile number 2, is start focusing on your creative projects. And that's what's going to help to shift the energy of this connection. So your person hopefully will feel the vibrations change and then want to come back and talk to you. So we have discontent. So this is all about not feeling satisfied where they're at. So as we talked about, and this is a card number 8. So again, heavy fire, Leo energy, or Leo, the moon from what happened, the full moon in Leo really shifted the perspective for this person. This person is not happy where they're at, most definitely. That is for sure. So here we have it here, dissatisfaction, seeking, searching conclusions. Sooner or later in our evolutionary process, each of us begin to realize that it's not the having that fulfills our soul, but rather it's the act of creating that brings us satisfaction. Contentment is what we've created, no matter how grand inevitability subsides, and our creative juices, which I talked about, once again long to flow. This is why the once ideal partner ceases to mesmerize, the perfect job inevitably becomes mundane, and the great adventure begins tediously. Although there is a lot to be said for enjoying what we have now, we must nevertheless respect the fact that our basic nature is, as creative beings, is to create. Without the process, we can't be fully content, at least not for long. Your muses are present, and they call on you now to embrace your creative discontent and undertake new projects. Again, this is what I talked about, right? To shift the energy. Their message, seek your frustrations as a longing to learn more, expand more, dare more, and create more. So yeah, that's it. So as I talked about, this confirmed everything I talked about. So if this reading resonates, pile number 2, and you'd like to book a personal reading with me, feel free to send me an email or check out my website to book your personal reading with me. Sending you lots of love and light with this person and this situation. Till we meet again, take care. So hey, pile number 3. So if you chose the sticker here which says sports aware, this is going to be your reading. So before we begin, I want to let you know that your person right now is incredibly jealous of you. They also recognize that this relationship or connection that they may enter in with you, or situationship, depending on whatever you want. I don't like to necessarily label things because everybody's circumstance is different. But I'm feeling very strongly when I was shuffling your pile, I heard that they are jealous, and this person feels that this connection doesn't follow the traditional type of family dynamic that they may have grown up in. And this is also some of their fears of you, pile number 3. So I wanted to put that out there before I start, before I lose the messages that I got from Spirit. So I want to let you know that I am going to be opening my Patreon very soon, for the first week of March, where I'm going to be offering extended readings, which I know so many people have been telling me like they wish my readings had extendeds and stuff like that. So I can go a bit deeper to really see what's going on. But if you would like to book a personal reading, if this resonates, feel free to book on my website, or you can send me an email at angiesawakening1111@gmail.com. So let's tap in pile number 3. Let's see what's going on with you and your person. So we have self. So exactly what I was feeling, right? And what I heard. So this person is more centered around themselves right now, and their fears is that if they open up to you, then they're going to lose their identity. If they move forward, if they move forward with you, or you move forward with them, take it as it resonates. So right now this person is feeling like they are allowing you to control them and dictate their life. So they're scared that if they are able to move this connection along, a part of them is going to lose their identity. I'm hearing that this is this person's programming though, and it has really nothing to do with you, the viewer. This is just something that they have maybe gone through in a lot of the relationships in their life with people and just in general, right? And so this is kind of like what has caused this person to feel this way. So this person may have even like recently gone through some sort of breakup or divorce or separation too, where they kind of like, you know, the attitude once you leave something behind, and then now you're going to go back in something else, and then you're scared that I'm never going to act like that again. I'm never going to give my power away. So this is what I'm feeling like this person is really thinking about right now. They're thinking that if they open up more to you, or if they give you more of a balanced commitment, then they're going to end up losing themselves. But a part of this, what this person I'm hearing from Spirit needs to recognize is, the first concept is you have to learn all about relationships and the balance of equal give and take. So this is something that is a part of this person that's tied to them, which is also some sort of karmic lesson that this person has to understand and go through. In terms of recognizing that nobody in any connection can make you lose yourself unless you let you lose yourself, right? If that makes sense. So how you lose yourself is by not focusing on self. So this is where, you know, when you're in a relationship, you are supposed to have your own identity. Then your person has their identity, and together you guys create something together too, right? But you can never lose yourself in the process of being with someone else. But this is something that this person has to learn and recognize, because when you're comfortable within yourself, no matter what anybody might want to tell you, whatever they might want to feel, whatever they're saying you must do, this is something that can never happen unless you let it happen, right? And you let people basically rule you or control you. But I feel like if you are someone who's into spirituality and stuff like that, you are not that type of person, but they're thinking that you are, if that makes sense, right? But this is something that's a part of their programming. I'm also hearing that they may have seen this in their own household, which then contributed to why they feel the way that they feel. So it could have been a situation too, pile number 3, where maybe they grew up in a family where, you know, like some mothers are like, I control the show, I control the finances, I control the resources, I tell you guys what to eat, I tell you guys what to do. Or you could have had like the opposite, where their father, because I'm hearing this could be a reading divided for 2 different groups of people. So take it how it resonates. Remember, this is a general, right? So your person could have been in a situation where, for example, they grew up in the opposite, where their father was the one who controlled the household, told people what to do. They were the one who went to work every day. Their mother was more like a traditional type of role, maybe stay-at-home mom, something like that. Maybe didn't work a job, or maybe the father went to school, the mother didn't. So then the father felt like they could control the situation more, or maybe the father was better off financially than the mother, or vice versa, right? And so this is where this person kind of like saw people around them and what was deeply rooted in their ancestry, which they now need to transmute and understand that it doesn't have to be the same outcome for them. They can do better. And I think this is also a part of this person's life lesson, to be able to break free from this programming too as well. So let's see, what is this pile number 3's person's? Let's dive a little deeper to see what their person's fears are about them and the connection. So what are this pile number 3's person's fears and insecurities about the connection? So I'm going to pull 3 cards. So Spirit, please, pile number 3. I'll take 3 cards in regards to the person's fears and insecurities about the connection to the viewer, pile number 3. I get it. Yes, as I talked about, this is also where this started, right? The judgment, right? So this is all about balance, right? So as I talked about, what they're accustomed to is being with people where the relationship was never balanced. So this is also their fear. So this is confirming what I talked about. They might have been used to being with someone who may have like been like always putting out their hand like this. You need to give me money. You need to give me all this stuff. And this person may have been the overgiver in previous relationships. And a lot of their fear is that this will happen to them again. And I'm hearing that this person may have made a promise to themselves that they never wanted to go through that type of experience again, where they were overgiving, or maybe they're kind of like stingy and they expect people to always give to them too. It could work both ways, vice versa. Take it how it resonates, because this is again a general reading. But something about like the relationship just not being balanced is where the fear is deeply rooted. I'm also hearing as well that this person is used to being with a lot of codependent people that rely on them for a lot of things. And so they're scared that if they do give you the chance and they do try to deepen the connection, that eventually you're just going to use them and leave them behind, which is something that this person is deeply afraid of at this time. This person also feels a little bit guilty as well, a part of their fear in the way in which that they treated you. But I'm hearing that this is something that they need to transmute. So maybe again, they could be just like very programmed in their thinking and feeling, because that's what I'm feeling from this card, where maybe in their house they were maybe shamed or thought that they were less than, or if you don't do this then you're not a man, or you're not a woman if you don't give me this, or if you don't do that then you're no good, right? So this is also something that they're afraid about, that maybe they won't be able to give you exactly what you want and then you leave them, right? Because they're used to people taking from them, or they're used to people giving into them. But I'm feeling more like this person has definitely been taken advantage of a lot in the past, and this is where a lot of their guilt and fear comes in, that they won't have enough to give you what you want, and then you'll just ultimately leave them, right? Because you'll feel like they're not a man or they're not a woman. So that's where a lot of your fear is centered around. And then again, as I talked about, right, so this is confirming what I said. They're used to being in relationship dynamics where there's a power struggle, where they don't have that identity. Like, identity is very heavy for this person, where they need to feel like they have a identity in the relationship, because I feel like where they were now, or what they're leaving behind, or what they went through, was something where they lost themselves. They probably were with someone that even controlled what they ate, what time they came home, who called them, you know, that type of female or person that just monitors your phone, harasses you, maybe drives by your house. Those type of crazy type of relationships, or even a male, if this is, you know, a male watching this reading for a female, it could have even been that dynamic as well, where their partners in the past were just really, really, really obsessive, and definitely were very compulsive towards them, which is something that your person is afraid will happen with you and them. But what they need to recognize is that you can cut off anything if it's incredibly toxic at any time, right? You don't have to stay in a situation if it's bad, right? You just speak your truth and go on about your business. And if it gets critical, you could just go to the police, right? And report them if that's something that you want to do. But you don't have to stay in a bad situation in fear, right? And you can't lose yourself in being with someone else either. So let's see, Spirit, more about their person's fears. So yes, as I talked about, the love, right? This person loves hard. That's their problem. Well, not a problem, but they just committed to the wrong people in the past, and they overgave, and then it caused a lot of problems for them. So yes, this person definitely was in a, like, some sort of high level commitment. So it could have even been this person was married or had some sort of partner, or it's what they saw growing up, right? Because the Hierophant also talks about traditions. So as I talked about, they may have felt incredibly guilty, or they were programmed to believe that if you don't have certain things, you're not a man, you're not a woman, you are not worthy. And this again took a toll on this person's confidence and self-esteem as a result of the Nine of Coins in reverse. But this person wants to, I'm hearing, end that cycle, where they're able to step more into power. More of a balanced type of relationship is what this person ultimately wants, because they recognize that in order to be in a happy relationship, it's not based on emotional manipulation, right? With the King of Cups in reverse. It's more based on balance, right? And setting that tone, that legacy for even generations to come is what this person wants now. They want to end that cycle where they're able to show their children that you don't have to follow that programming, right? You don't have to follow that same template that was there. You can create something different if you truly want. And it doesn't have to be codependent, clingy, manipulative, anything like that. It can just be based on, you know, equal give and take. So this person right now, I'm feeling like, is trying to work on themselves, where they're recognizing, right, that they were overgiving, pouring in. And now they want to have more of a balanced situation is what this person is thinking in their head. So let's find out a little bit more about what their pile number 3's person's next actions are towards pile number 3, please, Spirit. I'll take 3 cards. I'm feeling like all my readings today are really going to resonate deeply for the collective. I don't know, like these days as I'm going through my own ascension, like my readings, everything is becoming more and more on point as time is going on. Yes, so Temperance, they're going to want to balance and equal the score. So again, they recognize the wounding. But again, they're not sure how to provide that intense connection or, yep. So they're going to be making a choice between you and someone very soon. Let's see. I'll take one more card actually just to confirm it. Yep. They're still carrying. So this is like them still feeling burdened. Because you notice all the sticks here. This person is being weighed down and we have the 10 of Cups. So I feel like pile number 3, your person's actions towards you are going to consist of them eventually ending this cycle where they're carrying far more than what they should. So I actually feel like it should be more like, I don't know, Spirit is telling me, Spirit, how should it go? No, it's like this. And then that. So this is what it should be. Why am I so confused to do that? That's so weird. But anyways, this is how I feel like it should go. So yeah, your person is going to eventually stop investing where they're currently at. Especially if they have somebody else right now. They're going to be evaluating the ways in which the relationship is not working. And they're not going to want to invest in that situation because they see it as a very bad investment. Because they're not seeing it as something that is incredibly balanced. I think now this person's recognizing the ways in which the connection is just simply unbalanced. So what's going to happen is your person is going to be ending that cycle of them overgiving into a connection. I think that they're still going to be somewhat toting a lot of that baggage around. So this could be more like them going to court because it's right over the Hierophant card here. Where they're kind of like carrying around the responsibility of dealing with a divorce or some sort of breakup. So it could even be a division of assets or a division of children and time and stuff like that. And then what they're going to want is to provide some sort of balance being restored between you and them and your connection. And this is going to allow them to then want to make the choice to come towards you. But I'm not sure. I don't want to. That would be more for like an extended or personal. Because I feel like I'm going to be reading for a lot of people. So pause the reading and then I'm going to allow you to have a question in mind. And we're going to choose from the Angel Answers deck in regards to the question you may have. So you guys actually got 2 cards. So that's huge. So what it's saying is look for a sign. So again, this is where I think maybe you're going to be asking about this person. So Spirit is saying look for signs and synchronicities where this person is concerned. And then they're going to want you to take action, or they're encouraging this person to take action, or if you had another question, this is what's going to happen with that. So let's get the last piece of advice from the guides and then we're okay. So they want me to take this one. So we have boredom. This is a card number 4. So as we talked about, 4 is all about foundation. So their home life, their family life, where they're currently at is incredibly unbalanced. And this person is feeling very bored and manipulated by where they're currently at. And this is what is now pushing this person in wanting to take some sort of action towards you and the connection where it's concerned. So let's see. Card number 4. So tendium, disappointment, emptiness, frustration. So life is relatively stable and calm now, and yes, you've achieved a certain degree of predictability and comfort on a day-to-day basis. However, something is lacking in the way of fulfillment. Your spirit teachers gather in response to this emptiness. They gently remind you that there is more to your life than you're presently experiencing and calling you to remember your soul commitments of purpose and contribution to your fellow human beings. They confirm that you already know in your heart, focusing on your interest alone will not fill your void. Trust these beautiful guides as they are lovingly urging you to open your heart and share your time and gifts with others. They wisely counsel you that your restlessness, emptiness, and boredom that you feel isn't the result of something missing from your life or something you've yet to obtain, but rather is the reaction to an unexpressed talent, creativity, and love in your heart, things your soul longs to give. Your spirit teachers invite you to take advantage of your present peace and certainty and use your good fortune to involve yourself with those who are still struggling. For example, take a friend to lunch, help an elderly neighbor, volunteer at a literacy support organization, or spend time with lovely relatives. Your spirit teacher's message: give more and your emptiness will subside. So this person, again, as I talked about, right, they're feeling incredibly bored and not satisfied where they're at. So this is what is going to allow this person to take charge and action. So in the meantime, Spirit is saying, pile number 3, you need to be manifesting your creative endeavors heavily at this time, because this is what's going to help to ground the energies to maybe shift this person's position in terms of when they may come back in and want to communicate again with you, or let you know their thoughts about how they've been feeling recently. So that's what I have for you, pile number 3. So if this resonates, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. This is what helps my channel grow. And we will meet again. Love and light. Take care. Angie.